I want to go over some amazing game-changing unlocks and combinations in Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Yes, I found a way to earn even more XP, get a ton of perk slots, and I also want to show you some crucial map updates that you want to get. Let's start with a secret cave that Lemon reached out to me about on Twitter, and by completing it, you can see all the chests on the map. You can reach this cave from the mountain ascent, a fast travel point, and then make your way back towards Rambler's Reach, the settlement. So, yeah, you enter an area that looks like this. Then take the flying creature to the other side. This, of course, that blue building where you can also find a stim canister upgrade, which I told you about in my early unlocks video. A link to that in the video description for if you haven't watched it yet. Either way, we now want to go through this opening right here. Drop down and then you will find this crack in the wall that you can go through. And then you want to explore the cave, head right. And then at one point, you can like lift this object if you're far enough into the story. And now you created this opening to get access to this huge underground dungeon with quite some challenging enemies, so come prepared. But apart from that, it's pretty straightforward. So in this early area with the mines, you can go down for a chest, but you actually have to go up in order to continue and drop this rock down to create another opening. And you have to use these explosives to blow up the purple blockades that you will find in this cave as well. And pro tip, they don't explode when you hold them, so take your time to aim or even take them down an elevator to blow up a wall that doesn't have any of these explosive creatures close by. And again, there are many legendary enemies to fight. At one point, there will be 3 of them at the same time. Like, while you can get here mid to late game, it can be nice to come back after beating the main story for some upgrades that will make this fight way easier. Especially the upgrades to the slow ability will help you out a ton. Don't want to show it here for spoiler reasons, but yeah, good luck. And then when you do beat them, you will find this terminal that will then highlight all the chests on any planet, so you can easily hunt down the cosmetics that you don't have yet. And actually in this cave there will be many other chests hidden, also underwater, so dive to find them. And then in the end you get the really cool duelist lightsaber that is totally worth getting. There are some other upgrades that are nice to get. A really challenging force tier that you can complete over here on the map. Good luck with that one. So overall it's quite a special area that is totally worth the visit. And also on Kobo you can find the Jedi meditation chambers. You of course do one of them for the main story early on, and maybe you've already done some optional chambers when you've come across them. You of course have to use your force powers to solve similar but always slightly different puzzles, and there are 7 of these chambers in total, and if you do all of them and then go to a special location, you unlock the feature to see unclaimed upgrades, so crystals that give you either health, force, skill points or perk slots. So just like with the chest unlocks I showed you, you can then simply hunt these down and become way stronger, which is nice before heading into New Game Plus. I will leave a link to a video with all the Jedha chamber locations in the video description, so you can easily go after the ones you haven't completed yet. And then after doing all the 7 chambers and getting the trophy or achievement, you want to head back to the Alignment Control Center meditation point that you can easily see when fast traveling. It's close to the Mantis. This is a location that you will have to go to anyways for the main story, so you should have it unlocked if you are far enough. And then by traveling to this meditation point, you will see that all the screens are green, and they can also pick up this holo map unlock to see all those unclaimed upgrades. Now there's another map unlock that you want to get, but first I want to touch on another game-changing combination I got going. Of course, if you like the video so far, then leaving a like on it would really help me out, and subscribe for way more spoiler-free Jedi Survivor coverage. Maybe during your second main mission on Jedha, you encountered this wall in a crypt with pillars that you can move. Well, if you actually continue during that mission, you'll at one point find this platform with a similar amount of pillars, and some of them are long and some of them are short. I took a picture here and continued my path, and then from the Time-Worn Bridge meditation point, I traveled back to the Crypt of Irma fast travel point, so I could go into the crypt again and look at that wall. So in this crypt, you have to recreate what you saw outside, which is simple enough. The first row is the far left and the far right, and the second row are both the pillars in the middle that have to be like pulled towards you. Then this door opens up and you can get a stim canister upgrade, which of course already amazing, but there is more, as you will also see a green force field here that at this point in the story you cannot access. Once you can though, you want to return to the Crypt of Irma fast travel point and then take the zip line you created after getting the stim canister upgrade and go dash through that force field. You will now encounter a pretty challenging legendary enemy, but taking it out will be worth it because they can find the Gambler's Perk. This increases the experience gained, but you may no longer restore after death, which basically means that if you die, there is no way to get your lost XP back. A real gamble. But for an XP farm where you will likely never die, this is of course perfect, and I showed you an early game XP farm in my previous video that I will also link to in the video description, and the increases from the Gambler's Perk totally make things go way faster. Now you will need 4 perk slots though before you can equip it, and you of course start the game with 3. Now you can buy an extra slot in C's shop for 10 data discs. If you don't have enough, I will share a nice tip on how to quickly get them in a moment. And of course in this shop you can also buy the Wisdom perk that also gives an XP boost, but it's less than what you get from the Gambler's Perk. The Wisdom perk though does not have a downside. Well, the crazy thing is that you don't have to choose, so you can combine both of them for even more XP. Like I now have 7 perk slots, so both XP boosts are active, and I tried it and it indeed seems to stack, which is kind of wild. And by the way, I saw some people in the comments under that previous video talk about the 2 hammer raiders you can find in Fort Kalin, which is over here on the map. There's of course a meditation point here as well. If you go up like this and then eventually you will have to grapple, you can like fight 2 of them at the same time, and yeah, killing them will give you a ton of XP. Afterwards, just drop down to the meditation point to rest, and you can reset the encounter to do it again and again. And now these enemies will only spawn later on in the game, so this is really an end game farm, while the other one I showed you can be done super early on. And of course, worth noting, it's up to you, but you can put the game on story difficulty as well to way more easily take out these raiders, and they will be swimming in the skill points before you know it, especially if you're able to equip both perks at the same time. And it's all connected because you can easily get 3 of these new perk slots while working towards that other map upgrade that I still want to show you. So we want to again be on Jedha, and then in the open space go to 3 paths to in the end open the Wayfinder's Tomb. So not needed, but there is a rumor for 1 path over here on the map which already pushes you to try this out. To complete this path you'll have to move a ball all the way to the top. I kind of like these puzzles, and every path is slightly different, but yeah, use the force to move other balls around to in the end get one to the highest point, and then you want to activate it there. Now the path is completed, and this will also unlock a crystal. Like, don't forget them, there's 1 per path that you get for completing it, and they all give 1 new perk slot each. There are 3 of these paths in total, so you can get 3 extra perk slots, pushing you to 7 if you got the one in C shop as well, and then you can combine both the Wisdom and Gambler's Perk. So the second path is over here on the map, and the final one is over here on the map. But for this one you do need to be able to grapple to these flying objects, which you can only do later on in the main story, so you might have to come back later for that one. Now once you have unlocked all 3 paths though, we want to head to the center of the desert, which over here you will see a green platform on the map as well. And this way you can now enter the Wayfinder's Tomb, find a pretty cool, awesome lightsaber. I now put the wood material on it that you can actually find during that 3rd path with the flying objects I showed you. Jump down after taking out the first trooper enemies, and then you find the chest after taking out the droids. It looks really awesome, right, in combination with that. Now going back to the Wayfinder's Tomb, because of course the reason why you mostly want to do this is because you get another map upgrade, where now you can also see all the priorite shards, Jedha scrolls and data discs on the map, just like the chest and the power-ups, so really handy. Of course, if you found anything in Jedi Survivor, let me know in the comments. Subscribe for way more content on the game if you haven't already. A like would really help me out, and check out my previous video on that XP farm and also the best skills in the game by clicking on the screen. I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.